If you're in the market for investment-worthy bags, watches, and fine jewelry, Rebag is the answer. Rebag is a luxury resale marketplace where each piece is carefully vetted and verified by experts to ensure quality and authenticity. If you're in the market, use Rebag to buy and sell finds from the world's top brands, including Hermes, Chanel, and Cartier. Head to Rebag.com to get 10% off your first purchase with code REBAG10. Shop today at Rebag.com. That's REBAG.com and use promo code REBAG10 for 10% off your first purchase.
The following is a GoPowerCat.com and Spirit Street production. You've discovered your link to GoPowerCat.com's PowerCat Overtime podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor, and it starts right now. Now, let's go to the WTC Gig-Powered Studios. Here's your host, GoPowerCat.com publisher, Tim Fitzgerald.
It's the overtime. What a great week. What a great week it's been. I've been in the yard. I've been podcasting. I've been juggling. That's a lie. I haven't been juggling at all. I've been tending to my dogs. A lot of that. The other night that I went to bed, I decided I'm going to change things up. I'm going to change my sleep ocean sounds to sleep thunderstorm sounds. And by God, was I confused as hell in the middle of the night when I woke up and there was a real thunderstorm. I thought, man, who turned up my music? And it was pouring in Manhattan, Kansas. Tim Fitzgerald, I almost said Riley Gates, Zach Carlson, and Ryan Gilbert. Oh, for God's sakes. Gilbert, no Riley Gates. He's gone. We don't even remember who that is. I don't even know that name.
You should bleep his name out.
Oh, that'd be funny. One of my favorite things I've ever done on the overtime was when I took Riley's normal speech and started bleeping things out. Because it sounded like he was just dropping F-bombs. And anytime he put in an adjective, I bleeped it out. So, I don't know. I like to do stuff.
I better watch myself then.
Exactly. I will turn you into a cursor with your potty mouth and everything that I've been told about. And we're sponsored by The Fridge. If you've got a potty mouth, get your ass into The Fridge. Tell them you want some bleeping liquor, and they'll give it to you bleeping fast. The Fridge. They're bleeping fantastic. I like that. That was pretty good. I like that a lot. You can use their bleeping app, too, and bleeping website to bleep and get some bleeping good liquor and beer.
Can I order liquor from the app?
Yeah. Yeah, you can order anything. You can prepay it, and then you got to go pick it up. Yep.
Will they bring it to my car if I order it?
Yeah, they can. They're allowed to bring it out to the car right now. Yep.
All right.
See, here's one of my questions about this is, how is the state of Kansas going to justify unringing this bell? If it's all right to do these things during a pandemic, what makes them so unholy to do when times are normal, if we ever have normal times again? Ugh. I mean,
that's exactly what I was talking about with, this unprecedented times call for unprecedented changes, and a lot of stuff's going to change that isn't necessarily going to go back to the way it was. And this might be one of those things.
I'm never wearing pants again. I will wear shorts every day. I'm just out here being my own guy. I've worn more white T-shirts. My laundry is basically socks, shorts, and white T-shirts. That's it. And all my white T-shirts have food stains on them because I eat like a slob and get food on me, which is so confusing. You'd think a guy like me would be really efficient about putting food in his mouth, but I drop a lot. That's my weight loss plan, just not make it to my mouth enough with food. But, yeah, go to the fridge. Tell them Fitz sent you. They'll give you a 5% increase on your price.
Wow.
I know. It's the opposite of a discount. If you know me, they charge you more, so you don't come back. The fridge.
So they can give us more.
Right here at MHK, and they will make your day happy. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. We got some good questions, I think. We had one about Brazilian waxing that we passed on because Zach didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, but the answer was waxing. That, in case you're wondering, is definitively the best thing about Brazil is waxing. I would love to go to Brazil. Would you guys go to Brazil with me? If I came into money and we could go to Carnival, and would you all go down and we could just be debaucherous in Brazil together?
No, probably not.
I'll be down. I'll go with you. Just me and you.
Yeah, sounds good.
Brazil is not a very safe place.
Oh, for God's sake.
You're not safe.
I know that's true, but I'm still going to be outraged by it. Oh, man. Yeah, Nick Leckie thinks it's okay to go to Mexico and sit on the beach and, go out to dinner and you're not in peril. And you're probably not, but maybe you are. Maybe someone just wants to make a point and say, look at that gringo, as my Old West Mexican guy. Let's chop his head off.
I watched enough Ozark to make me kind of scared of going to Mexico, because if I'm going to Mexico, they're going to put me in a little prison in some drug lord's mansion.
I know. That was bad.
And play metal.
Interesting music selection.
Maggots.
Yeah, maggots they're delicious. High in protein. I want to get going. Let's do the overtime. Here we go.
All right. Well, this is our Netflix Last Dance TV. What have you watched this last week discussion?
Well, first of all, I'm minding my own business on Monday night, and our friend Ryan Lackey from Sports Information sends me a photo of Tom Keegan on The Last Dance, my buddy that was in Lawrence, did a TV show together, now works in Boston. I'll be damned if Tom Keegan isn't in The Last Dance for like 3 seconds when they do a snippet from Chicago television, and it's not Tom talking, but boy, it's Tom center frame there for about 3 seconds. A younger version of him. And Tom, honestly, if you're listening, you look like crap then too. But there he was, right there. That's just an obvious, blatant play by the producers at ESPN for the female demographic, including Tom Keegan. That's just ridiculous. So I've been watching that. I don't know if you know this about that story, but boy, they bounce around a lot. My God. I get even though they run the timelines, and now we're going back to 93, now we're going to 98, now we're going to 91. I just get so confused.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Why are you doing this?
I think the 5th episode was my favorite because it got into the business and the marketing and the shoe deals. Like that's your stuff. That's interesting stuff to me. So I enjoyed that. But yes, the continuity is just weird. And actually, the way they did it, though, kind of like the way they kind of intertwined Tony Kukoc with the Olympics and kind of the stuff that Jordan was doing at the Olympics as far as like covering up the Reebok logo. I actually thought that was a good flashback. And, I thought that was the way they intertwined Tony Kukoc into that was a good play. But where they've done it elsewhere, I kind of disagree with a lot of their editing choices. But that one was good, and that's one where it made sense.
I like 6 because it kind of got into the gambling. He is a gambling addict.
Yeah.
He really is, or was. I don't know. Other than that, I started The Sopranos. I'm enjoying it, and I'm still in season 1, excuse me. It's good, but it kind of just drags on a little bit. I can't stand his mother. I just can't stand her. I just can't take it. And I also started, my wife and I just started another PBS show. I don't know what's going on in this household, but things have gotten weird over the quarantine. We started World on Fire about World War II, and now we're doing the show that comes on after it, I think on PBS, on Masterpiece Theater, Baptiste, and it's about a retired detective somehow getting into the sex workers and murder and intrigue, just massive amounts of intrigue. But it's been good so far. We watched a couple episodes, and that's about it.
Like I said, I finally finished Ozark. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Can't wait for season 4. I've already got some theories on what's going to go down in season 4. I won't say them here, so I don't spoil anybody.
Probably some money laundering and murder.
That's probably a safe bet. If nobody dies in season 4, I'd be very disappointed.
Yeah, that'd kind of be boring.
Very disappointed. But you're kind of running out of characters to kill, Like,
you can bring in new ones.
Well, okay, they did bring in new ones to kill, but, at least one of the main ones got to go, right? Wouldn't you think?
Well, it's kind of like around our office. I mean, we had a character just disappear recently. We brought in a new guy. Who knows what's going to happen to him as the story unfolds.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, the other guy just kind of disappeared. We never really heard from the other guy.
And while I was taking a break during my Ozark binge, I did watch The Inventor on HBO, the Theranos Elizabeth Holmes documentary.
Oh, yeah.
If you're familiar with that. It was kind of long. I wouldn't say it was okay. I like it was good. They repeated themselves a lot, and it could have probably been an hour to an hour and a half instead of 2 hours. And I was sick of seeing so much of the same stock footage replayed over and over of Elizabeth Holmes. Like, if you're having to reuse scenes and footage and clips, you probably should consider shortening your documentary up a little bit.
How did she pull that off for so long?
Man, I don't know. Even after the fact, like, it was like discovered, like the Wall Street Journal was on her, like in 2015. The company didn't completely dissolve until 2018.
I know.
Like, and her trial is supposed to start this summer. I don't know if that'll happen, but I think it's like July or August is when that'll start with him and her and the COO. I think both of them were the two kind of kingpins there. But man, it was it was kind of crazy. But like, I had known about it for a while, so it was nice kind of seeing how the House of Cards kind of finally fell on her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, guys, I watched McMillions.
Oh, good.
There you go.
Yeah.
How'd you like it?
I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. It's just amazing that it happened. And then when they explained how he did it, it was so much more complex than I thought it would be. I just thought he had access to him the whole time, and they trusted him because he was head of security. But the way he pulled it off was pretty ballsy.
I mean, yeah. The fact that he even had a check on him, and he was able to overcome that. But it's pretty easy once you figure out the code and you're set.
Well, no, it was interesting. I'm glad I didn't invest a lot of time in playing that game.
I bet you did anyway.
But it's fun, though.
I don't know. Gills, you got anything new cooking on the old TV set?
No, you guys make me feel like I'm a loser. The only thing that I've watched in the last week is The Last Dance, and that's pretty much the only reason I watch it is so we can talk about it on here. And I feel weird if I don't watch it, but I really just don't have much interest in it. Like we keep talking about, it just pisses me off how much they bounce back and forth from 98 to 93 and all this crap. It's like, come on, man. It's okay if you have a flashback or two, but like what time frame are they actually on right now?
I know.
Like, you can't even answer that. So, oh well, it's fine. I'm enjoying it, I guess. But if they didn't have the access to the footage they have, how good would that documentary be?
I agree. They just have great interviews, which is, that's true of any documentary. Like, I'm watching McMillions, and what would that documentary been without the main FBI guy and how entertaining he was?
Does he remind you of Tom Gilbert?
No, not really. No, because he had a potty mouth. Yeah.
Oh.
Tom's a nice guy. He doesn't curse like me.
Like Tom Gilbert on caffeine?
No. No. He would remind me more of let me see. I just can't think of anyone. He's kind of a guy. Tom's just kind of hyper. This guy just wants attention. He just kind of craves attention. He wants to be the center.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe he's like my neighbor, Crazy Will, a little bit. Okay, let's get to the questions.
So now,
does your neighbor know about all these things you say about him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I tell him.
Okay.
I tell him. Yeah. I tell his wife. And they all agree. He's crazy.
And if you guys haven't seen the thread on Wabash, I did post last week. Let us know what you're watching on Netflix so we can maybe find some new stuff to watch. Fitz and I. Maybe Gilbert will start watching something.
I saw my favorite show. Someone picked up on it. Bosch on Amazon Prime. Love that show. Freaking love that show. I'm just heartbroken they've canceled it. They're doing one more season 7, and then it's over. And I'm like, why? Why are you taking it away from me? Oh, well.
Yeah, so now I'll have to find something new. So hopefully I'll have something new to talk about next week. Anyway, getting into the questions from WTDD 2001. How many minutes of Korean baseball are you watching, and will you be betting on it?
I'm not into this. didn't it start really late the other night?
Yeah, I was up at 1 a.m. just because I was up at 1 a.m. and it came on. So like I had it on. I wasn't really paying close attention. I wasn't invested in it. You know, it's kind of one of those things that like between a live Korean baseball game and a replayed, let's just say 2015 World Series, yes, it's the Royals, and yes, I'd want to watch that. But at the same time, I'm probably going to pay as close attention to both of those versus even a live sporting event now. Like even if it was MLB, like I just don't really care that much to stay up late because it's happens to be live sports.
I agree. I'm not going to watch it. I'm just not into it. I like baseball because I know the teams and players. I don't like baseball when I don't know the teams and players, and there's no
exactly. That's how I feel. But like when NASCAR starts up here in a few weeks. I'm not really into NASCAR that much, but I probably will have that on because that is interesting, and I do know who some of the people are. And it's in America, and it's at an appropriate time of day, and obviously everyone's going to be watching it. So I think that's...
Hello, dog.
Daphne's worked up about something. The best part about Daphne getting up to bark at something right now is she farted right before she left, and so I'm left to sit in her fart, and she's left. Selfish dog.
She had to mark her ground.
Man, it's horrible too. She's got the worst farts right now. Forward.
Yeah, but I think NASCAR will be.
I agree.
NASCAR, UFC. I had WWE on last night. It wasn't live, but I was watching Raw a little bit. But man, some of the people on Raw now, like I don't even know who these wrestlers are, and they're just complete joke jobbers that I don't care about. So, but they are having Money in the Bank, their pay-per-view this Sunday, and they're actually going to host it on top of their world headquarters in Connecticut. On top of Titan Towers will be the Money in the Bank ladder match. So that'll be kind of. I might actually subscribe to the WWE Network to watch that because that'll be kind of cool and unique.
Maybe they'll throw someone off the top of the tower.
It wouldn't surprise me if that was something that they might try editing, or they'll probably pre-shoot everything. It probably won't be live, so it wouldn't surprise me if they did do something that made it look like someone fell off the tower.
I saw a great
kind of cool.
Great old school clip of Steve Austin and someone fighting on a bridge, and someone got thrown over the edge, and it was so obviously a dummy that went into the water. It was hysterical. It was like, it was like a comedy show. It looked like Saturday Night Live had done something with a person falling into the water.
Moving on from Email Wildcat 82. I just finished my first sit-down meal in 2 months in the free state of Oklahoma. He went to Cheddar's. Where would you like to have your first sit-down meal?
Ooh. Well, I don't think there's any doubt it's Tanner's or the High-Low. Why would I go anywhere else? Really, no, it is Tanner's, because hopefully when we have ability to go sit in a restaurant, sit in a restaurant, keep that in mind. That's different than you healthy young fellas that are on this podcast with me. When I'm healthy enough to go in and sit down, there'll be sports on TV probably. So definitely Tanner's. But also, I mean, if you want some closed quarters, a little so long and lucha, maybe the lucha patio would be a good move for me to get in that fresh air out there. I don't know. Gills is probably Tanner's and Pizza Hut.
I was going to say Cane's because when you guys have Cane's, you eat it to go or you eat inside?
I've eaten inside once, I think, and it was with Fitz after we did a podcast.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You guys are going to meet up after this, right? But I love it when you eat it there, and that's something we don't have. When you have it in the box, it gets all soggy and bleh. So that's probably my first meal. Some nice fresh Cane's.
Yeah.
How long are you traveling with your Cane's box?
5 or 10 minutes, but I promise you guys, it's a life changer.
Oh, I've done it too. I've brought home Cane's and got home, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't as good as I remember, but yeah.
I guess Cane's is close enough to our office that, it's a 3-minute drive once you get the hot chicken, and you're just back at the office at your desk eating hot chicken. So I don't know.
Hot chicken. What combo you picking?
Oh. For me, I'd probably pick Coco Bolos out on that patio.
Yeah,
now it's summer, so they'll open up the what do you call them? They're not windows.
They're side panels.
Drapes.
Yeah, they're
the side panels.
Yeah,
the
they're plastic.
retractable.
The garage doors.
Yeah, they're plastic
Yeah, but
roll
they're
up.
not.
Yeah, it's like heavy plastic. So you can kind of see through them, but they're not like windows. You can actually see. You see shapes.
They're not great. Yeah, you can see shapes. You can see shapes of cars on the outside. But
It's like glaucoma.
And the heaters will be off. I think it's crazy how it's actually warm when it's wintertime out there when they shut everything.
It's pretty amazing product. I don't know how much they spend on that side tent, but it's pretty amazing.
But they literally doubled their capacity for the winter. Like it was brilliant. It was smartest move in Manhattan, I think, as far as restaurants go.
Yep. I wish there's a push right now to allow Aggieville to have the streets, and as a proponent of Aggieville, I wish we had enough garage space where we could shut the streets and have basically a emergency access road down the middle, but then the businesses would have all the sidewalks for themselves, and then people could walk in what are now the parking areas. So I don't know. I wish we had that, but we don't. It would help Aggieville businesses a lot to have all that added storefront seating if people didn't need the sidewalk to walk. I mean, think about Solong and Lucha alone. It'd be incredible. I don't know.
I think that'd be cool for restaurants. But on the other hand, and I don't want to speak to any business owners that are not restaurants in Aggieville, but I wonder if they would be proponents of trying to shut down the streets and improve the district.
And some of the restaurants aren't either, because they want people to be able to drive up and park in front of their, or think they can park right in front. Once you've made the drive to Aggieville and you realize,
right,
I got to park way over here, you do it. But you think you're going to find this golden spot. So there is some controversy about it. Yeah.
You do make a good point, but I guess that kind of goes into the KCI argument. Oh, we don't need a new airport. Like, I like parking up close to my gate, but you pay $7 in long-term parking anyway and take a bus, and it's the same thing. So, I guess I can kind of see it that way too.
Hell, I use the parking spot.
It's more expensive.
It's really expensive, but man, it's nice, and they'll detail your car when you're gone if you need it. It's pretty slick.
From Dr. J54, have there been any movie remakes that were actually better than the original?
Oh, I can't. Are you thinking of any movie remakes?
Well, they're not really remakes, but I think when Batman Begins in 2005, that Batman trilogy, I think that was a good, not necessarily an exact shot-for-shot remake of anything, but it was a good reboot of the Batman series for sure. I like that.
I would agree with that. That's a good thought.
And I would say that the James Bond movies with Daniel Craig
are the
best James Bond movies. Like, he's the best Bond, and you can't tell me otherwise.
I agree. And I grew up with the other Bonds. I've always enjoyed Bond movies. I'm more of the Roger Moore category in terms of my age. I mean, Sean Connery was a little bit before me, but I've seen those movies. So yeah, I think he's by far the best. He fits the book the best. I haven't read any of the books, but people, that are familiar with the book say this is more like Bond. Bond was not the buttoned up proper guy. Bond was a pain in the ass for everyone. So,
but I'd generally say most superhero movies made today. If there were any superhero movies that were made, before, I don't know, the last 10 to 15 years, I'd say that anything that's been in the last 10 to 15 years is probably the best superhero movie of that superhero that's been made.
You mean as opposed to the Superman movies where you can tell they're laying on the table with a fan blowing the... Yeah. The technology's brought them so far. Yeah, I agree. And that's kind of the Star Wars movies are, anything was better than the first, when they went back and made the first three in the trilogy.
Yeah.
The three periods of it. But yeah, I can't think of any other like straight up remakes. I mean, they remade like the Towering Inferno, and they've kind of renamed them, but they're the same story. And then the ship, the whatever that was, a Poseidon Adventure. They kind of remade those in different ways, but I don't know. They better not remake Die Hard. When I get old, and I'm 90 years old, and they have put out a Die Hard, and people are like, "This just looks like a great movie," and I'm like, "No." Oh.
But they remake Christmas movies all the time, like Home Alone.
Did they remake that?
They rebooted that. They rebooted that recently, I think.
The worst remake ever isn't a movie. It is Wagon Wheel by Darius Rucker. Every time I look at him,
it's not a bad song.
Every time I look at him, I want to punch him. It's like, hey, we've rebooted the Bible to make it hip. Here it is. And like, no, you don't.
I'm kind of interested now. I'd love to see a Bible. I actually liked the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake. I thought that was pretty decent.
Yeah, I really watched it, and the first one was perfect.
But that's really the only one that I can think of that was really a true remake that I've seen. But yeah. Moving on to Chris 66204. If you were a prospect as a recruit or a draftee, how would the scout describe you in 5 words or less? And it does not have to be a complete sentence. And he gave some examples such as like savage, explosive, questionable decisions, or small but slow.
I probably would go with drunk, fat, and stupid. I don't know. How about wily, efficient? Because I'm not going back on defense. I'm not chasing the ball down the court if it's a breakaway. I'm not that guy. I'm that guy. Like, I'll be down here, bring the ball back to me. Efficient and dead-eye shooter, because I was. Gills?
Go ahead. When I think back to high school, when people would talk to me and they'd look at me and they're like, "So you play football, right?" And I'm going to cheat a little bit and go more than 5 words, but mine would be, looks like he should play football, but he actually plays golf.
Could use a guy like you on the team.
Which is great, because if, anything goes wrong on the course, you can go tackle people.
I hated hitting people.
I know.
I hated getting hit. I hated playing football. I was a kicker. That's what I wanted to do, and I wasn't even the best kicker, and they just let me do it because they knew I liked doing it.
Nice.
Thanks, Ivan.
Silent but deadly on the toilet.
Like a fart. Yeah. That's nice. His game's like a fart. Silent but deadly. I like it. That's a good evaluation. I don't think anyone's going to be offering us scholarships or drafting us based on our evaluations. I think it's safe.
From CFID, what is the sport you miss watching the most this summer? And CFID says his is tennis, or hers if CFID is a woman.
Tennis, interesting.
I don't know.
It's summer. It's probably baseball. I mean, or the NBA championship is the only time I really watch the NBA. But, and the Jordan documentary is reminding me why I don't watch the NBA now. I mean, they talk about how he went hard every night and never missed a game, and he knew people there to see him. It was the first time to get to see him, and now we got guys that just sit out. I'm going to take the night off. But yeah, it's baseball and Royals, and it's not like I sit down and watch all 9 innings, but it's kind of nice when you're flipping around. Hey, the Royals are bad. Let me watch some of this. Or if someone's pitching well, to go watch some of it. But let's be honest, the summer's when we watch the least amount of sports typically as a society, because we're out participating in the world, not locked up inside.
Yeah, I'd say baseball is probably the sport I miss the most, but it's not really the sport I watch the most, I'd say. I probably, when you think of summer, I think baseball is the sport you think of. But right now I'm missing, watching Sporting KC, early season. It's really easy to watch most of the games because it's not necessarily competing with baseball. Once you hit the summer, it kind of competes with baseball, and it's hard to find it on the right channel, or you have to flip around, or it's super late. But yeah, that, and then definitely golf. Next week I was supposed to go to the PGA Championship for a couple days, like I've done the last couple of years. That's kind of become my thing to go out there. So I was hoping I could go out to San Francisco and walk around Harding Park and buy $300 worth of PGA Championship merch and make my way back to Manhattan.
Nice.
I'm with you guys. I think baseball is what I miss the most. I mean, the NBA Finals I really do enjoy. I think they're a lot of fun, but as a whole, the NBA is just, it's just a lot of offense, not much actual game being played. So I'll go baseball as well. Nothing beats a night out at the K, watching the Royals lose.
Yeah, that's kind of what I miss the most is like actually going to a game or just being outside and going to the lake or, any kind of family thing. It's the summer, and that's what I miss. Luckily, I'm able to still get out and work in my yard and do those type of things, which I enjoy doing. The yard's getting there because we've had more time around. But I don't know. It's just this whole thing's strange. If we get into football and football's backed up, they delay the start. I think we'll see them play a full season at some point. But if it's delayed, then when you don't have football in early September, you're going to be going, oh my God, this sucks.
What do I gamble on?
Exactly.
I want to go to a Buck night.
Yeah.
I want dollar hot dogs at a Royals game.
And your peanuts and your Coke.
Man.
Yeah. Strawberry lemonade. That's
really?
the way to go.
That's your play? Yeah,
yep.
Play strawberry lemonade.
Yeah. For whatever reason, strawberry lemonade doesn't really sit well in my stomach for the most part. If it's like really like a good strawberry lemonade, like a Longhorn, at Longhorn Steakhouse, they make a good strawberry lemonade, but it kind of goes right through me. But Tropicana strawberry lemonade,
oh God,
like at a Royals game, it actually does not ruin my stomach, so I enjoy it.
Is this from the fountain, or they make it special in
a
certain part of the outfield, or what? Wow.
It's like right next to the Pepsi or the Diet Pepsi on the machine. They fill up your big old plastic cup.
Zach, have you ever snuck a little vodka into your strawberry lemonade?
Not at a Royals game, but I went to Chili's a couple weeks ago and got some Tito's from the fridge, and did do that.
It's pretty good.
Did you order online on the app?
Yeah, ordered on the app. That's what Fitz and I do. We'll sit in the office, talk about how we're hungry, and we look at each other, and we both know exactly where we go for dinner when we go home.
Yep. Just usually like after a podcast or something, we finish up, around 5. When the podcast is done in the studio, it's real easy to clean up. I mean, it's all the levels are set. Everything sounds great. Unless we've had to cut something, like I said, a bad word, which I've been known to do. I just duck over there and throw it together and order my Chili's. And while it's uploading to the site and to the Megaphone site, and it's 20 minutes, and I'll go pick up my Chili's and go home. It's magical. I'm hoping now that we've been through this, more places will have that type of thing. More places will be conscious of, the pickup and how important it is. And I don't know. I mean, you can pick up food from a lot of places, but you got to go in. I'm so lazy, they'll bring it out to my car, which is awesome. They've got my make and model, which is all part of the FBI spying on me through Chili's. So as soon as I pull up, they know I'm there, and they just bring it out to me and say, here you go, fat ass, Mr. Fitzgerald, and then apologize again for the time they left out the tortillas for my fajitas, and I had a meltdown.
I like how you think that the FBI is tracking you through the Chili's app and not just through you registering your car like every human being on the planet.
We all know that the FBI is monitoring this conversation, because I bet you Alexa is listening right now. Alexa, are you listening?
I only listen after you say the wake word. To learn more, visit amazon.com/AlexaPrivacy.
She's a liar. She's a liar.
Wow.
She's listening right now. I bet you I could say anything like, I would love to overthrow the government, and they'll show up at my door.
No, that's not true. You've seen Ozark. You know how it works. You can say whatever you want on the phone.
I would love to launder money through fake businesses in the Ozarks. Nothing happens.
But you seen McMillions. They were listening. They were tapping phones.
They were. I know.
Yeah, that's the real FBI, though.
Yeah, I was watching The Wire, and that's all what it's about. It's about the phone wires that they have up on people and trying to track all the drug people and all the tricks. This was early cell phones, so then they started sending text messages. Oh, here we go. Sending text messages, and I know she just had to be involved. Sending text messages, and then they had to get a warrant for that. And then they started sending photos, and then they had to decipher what the photos meant. Daphne's now barking.
Picture this nightmare scenario. You're hosting friends for the big game. It's neck and neck in the fourth quarter, and suddenly you realize you're out of drinks. You start to sweat. Your friends start to turn on you. You're forced to go on a last-second drink run and end up missing the game-winning touchdown while in line. Terrifying, isn't it? Luckily, you can avoid the drama with Drizzly, the go-to app for drink delivery. With Drizzly, you can shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits, then get them delivered right to your watch party. Compare prices across multiple stores in your area, find the best deals on game day drinks, and get back to armchair quarterbacking from, you guessed it, your armchair. Download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com today. Must be 21 plus, not available in all locations.
With Blue Link Plus, you can access your Hyundai Tucson Limited remotely. Doors unlocked, temperature set, lost car found.
There it is.
Get complimentary class-leading Blue Link Plus. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
From King Jim 77, he wants us to go back to Tiger King. So with Nicolas Cage is reportedly being cast as Joe Exotic in a CBS series. Yes, I love it. He wants us to cast the rest of the show. Who plays Carol, Doc Antle, etc.
Oh, man. See, who could play Carol, guys? Who's crazy enough?
Amy Poehler, I think, would be
That's not bad.
Close. Kate McKinnon, I think, was actually someone I think rumored for something. I think Kate McKinnon. I know a lot of these people are SNL people that I'm coming up with, but I think that she'd be good. There's actually some girl. I haven't watched SNL really at all this year, but there's a new cast member this year, and on TikTok she's made these really good Carol Baskin impressions. So maybe it's her.
Yeah, I think if it's only like guest appearances, Will Ferrell would be perfect for Doc Antle. Yeah,
I saw a Reddit thread with people about the Nick Cage thing, and I did see Will Ferrell in there. John Travolta as Doc Antle would be
not bad.
I think that'd be a pretty good one. I'm not sure who else is in here that in this thread that would make sense, but those are the ones that I saw.
That would be fun to cast. Wouldn't that be fun to cast? And because so many people would want to be on it, people would just be lined up. But
now, if it's
go ahead.
If it's a CBS series, I feel like they're not going to be able to cuss. I feel like his cussing is half of it.
I know.
Wouldn't you?
I know.
Like that's something that maybe it's something they put on CBS All Access. I don't know if they cuss on CBS All Access, but that might be one of those things that you put it above the top, behind the paywall, so you can actually cuss on it and it's not over the air. So I feel like might be a better place for it. From Chris66204,
Wax. That's the answer. Wax.
Which GPC crew member is most affected by the J. Crew bankruptcy?
I don't think I've owned anything J. Crew in my life. How about you boys?
It hurts me. That's where I get my jeans.
Really?
You can get a lot of my like plain just kind of T-shirts. I'll go to J. Crew. Those Nike shoes I have that I wore to I think I took them to the bowl games first, but I've worn them around the last few months. Those, I think I got them from Nike, but they do sell those. They originally were like a J. Crew exclusive. It's called the Nike Kill Shot 2. Really kind of stylish, similar to like the Adidas Samba, and I can't think what else like New Balance would make that's kind of similar to it, but it's kind of like a classic just trainer that was like exclusive to J. Crew for the longest time. But that's one thing that I've got from them.
Gills, you wearing
There's your answer.
It hurts me.
No, Zach is the only one.
Sounds like
here.
it's me.
Yep. That's unfortunate.
Right.
What led to this bankruptcy, Zach?
I'm not really sure, but I saw that they were trying to secure like $400 million of financing to avoid bankruptcy, but they'll probably just close some stores and go to more online. Because a lot of those J. Crew stores you go to, and you go in them because you see stuff online, but like the stuff you want to buy isn't even in there. So I don't know. The last time I went to J. Crew and actually spent a bunch of money, I bought a blazer. It was a couple summers ago, so I could go to a wedding. I bought a nice blazer and a couple shirts. But yeah, I'm sad.
I would like to take this moment to announce that I too am looking for $400 million in financing for something else. I'll be glad to discuss that with you for my new home in Belize after I secure your funding.
Not Brazil?
No, I can pop over to Brazil from Belize. I can hop into Mexico. I can also get to Florida pretty easily. I can go to the Bahamas or anything in the Caribbean. Heck, I could probably make it over to Spain pretty easily from Belize. So I'll be pretty happy about it. And this investment someone's going to make in my company, Tim Incorporated, and we're going to produce... Sorry, I think we broke up. And and then we'll make a lot of money. But I need $400 million up front in financing. Thank you. Back to the podcast.
From Chris 66204. What is the over-under on how many fantasy/intramural/slow-pitch softball teams will be named the Murder Hornets in the next calendar year?
It's awesome. It's awesome. If I'm Emporia State, I'd change my name to the Murder Hornets. It'd just make you more edgy. You're in Emporia, by God. Hornets sound like kind of, hey, we're going to go help pollinate. And now you're the Murder Hornets. I like it. Those things are scary. Did you see a picture of them?
Yeah.
Oh.
Will they claw you, or will they sting you, or will they do both?
They sting like they got their fangs, and like 50 people a year die in Asia from the Murder Hornets.
Huh. Man. That's not as bad as coronavirus.
No, it's just people are getting competitive. Oh, you got a pandemic. Here's some Murder Hornets. And pretty soon we'll have, by the way, your dogs will start exploding and kill everyone in the house. So just come up with new stuff to scare us.
Okay. From Chris 66204, this is his last question. Thank you, Chris, for giving us all these questions. Where do you stand on the whole "there's no such thing as an apple core" debate? If you're not familiar, the position is that the entire apple should be eaten, nothing thrown away except maybe the stem and seeds.
This is insane.
But it says you should eat the core around the seeds.
No. Have you ever tried to eat the core, the shell and stuff around the seeds? No, you can't. You'd have to just swallow it.
I've never heard of this argument.
I've never heard of this. I feel like Chris made this crap up.
Don't eat the entire apple. You're not an animal.
I don't know.
Not a cartoon, or you just swallow it whole.
Oh, that'd be kind of weird. Man, that'd be
How
impressive.
do you digest that? That'd be no fun.
Hopefully you break it down before it tries to leave. Wow.
Even if you wanted to eat the whole thing, the angle, the outside parts of the apple are, it's hard to get your mouth in there. So that's another problem.
That's what she said.
Hold on. Eating the entire apple. Studies claim we've been eating apples wrong. If you aren't eating the whole apple, you might be eating it. I don't know. This isn't a recent thing. All these stories are from 19. Whatever. Well, I'm not doing it. You can't make me do it. You can't make me eat the entire apple, even if you let me keep out the seeds and stems. I'm not doing it. You're nasty. Nasty.
All right. Last question from King Jim 77. Last question of the podcast. Name the strangest unnecessary items you have ordered or perhaps considered for curbside pickup. His have been empty brass and smokeless powder for reloading ammunition and potting soil for his garden beds.
Last year I had 2 pallets of mulch delivered to my house. They literally brought a semi down my street and a forklift and so I had mulch, and they delivered it on the hottest day of the summer last year. So they sat out. We just finished using them. Like around the start of the pandemic, when I finally had some time, I ran out of the mulch that we had delivered last summer. So that was a little excessive. But yeah, I order almost anything. I was running out of stuff that I would normally just run to Walgreens to pick up, so I ordered it through Amazon. So I had like Aleve and Breathe Right strips and stuff like that delivered to my house. I just feel lazy doing that. I don't know.
I don't think I've ever actually ordered unnecessary items for pickup, for curbside pickup, but I have gone to Chili's for curbside pickup, and I've spent like $10 for like $25 worth of food there before, because every day they'll give you some sort of reward, like a free appetizer or whatever. So, you get the free appetizer and you get a 3 for $10. You spent like $10 for a ton of food, which I also have a free appetizer right now, which I might go to Chili's and do and have food for 2 days. Because if you play your cards right, you can get, some good sides that'll keep, like the mashed potatoes. You can make like 5 meals out of it, plus the chips and salsa. Like, it's awesome, man.
So, I've had a crisis. This kind of spins off topic here. Chili's doesn't recognize me anymore. So I type in my phone number, on the Chili's app, and it says that phone number doesn't exist when I try to sign in. It says we don't have that phone number in our records, so I have to go create an account. When I try to create an account with my phone number, it says that phone number is already in use. I can't.
I bet you that manager you made mad about losing your tortillas blocked you out and hates you.
Probably.
That's probably what happened.
Yep, I don't
You got
blame him.
revenge. Never see Chili's from me again.
It sucks. Chili's.
That's what happened.
I know. I'm a bad boy. I just had dog food delivered. So people have been telling me, just get your dog food through Chewy's, because I hate shopping for dog food. I mean, it's heavy. And so I don't know how much. It's like 80 pounds of dog food was just delivered. The poor delivery guy. But yeah, it's sitting on my front porch right now. I got to bring it in. But I'll order anything. I am really exceptionally lazy. Anything. I took Zach's recommendation. I ordered some Good Sense meat by the pound, $5. I've got now some ham, some salami, and some bologna, and 5 pounds of pepper jack, and a couple loaves of bread. I'm ready to go. Party time at the Fitzgerald's.
You might want to stock up for a while now with all these meat plants. The meat supply chain's kind of shutting down. All these grocery stores are limiting how much meat you can buy.
Weird.
Good Sense might be the butcher right now, and you stock up the next couple months and put it in your freezer.
Weird. Gills, you order much online?
Not really. I heard this one great place called Pizza Hut where you can tip your driver, but other than that, I'm not sure.
That sounds sketchy.
You should do it.
Well, I'll try. We're overdue for ordering pizza. Will you deliver it if I order it from the Manhattan Pizza?
I'm sure they'll pay for my mileage, so why not?
Yeah, outside your delivery area? I don't know. That's it for this week's PowerCat Overtime podcast. Whew. It's been a weird week, guys. It's just been a weird week. I need to move on to another week where I can stir up trouble on Twitter, because everyone tells me I need to stay at home forever and ever and ever and ever. And I guess I'm willing to do that.
You've been listening to the PowerCat Overtime Podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor. PowerCat Podcast. All rights reserved. GoPowerCat.com and Spirit Street Publishing.
Nickelodeon covers the NFL season and your favorite NFL players in Slime on NFL Slime Time, a weekly highlight show for the whole family that only Nick can get away with. Join Nate Burleson, young Dylan, and the rest of their team as they recap the game, get Nick-exclusive interviews with players, make a mess with celebrity guests, and each week award the coveted MVP trophy, an epic prize that comes with serious slime. Huddle up with the family and catch NFL Slime Time Wednesday night at 7:30, 6:30 Central on Nickelodeon and streaming the next day on Paramount+.